So as I said, I also didn't write an intro because I got lazy, and then it was more so yesterday. I was like, "Oh shit, I never did that." I felt really good about myself. I had been doing some reading, and I had watched the movies ahead of time, and I felt like I was ready, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot my one job."
That's all good. I think it's fun when we wing it too.
Yeah, well, for you, I'm the one who has to wing it.
Well, you did throw me under the bus one time, deservedly so. I was smack talking, and I got my comeuppance.
It's not so hard. It's not so easy, is it?
And then Bill and Ted did stuff.
Did stuff indeed. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to pull up a synopsis, and I'm just going to read that.
Two guys walk around with a dead body and roll the trailer.
So let me kind of hopefully try to make you laugh.
I'm down for that.
If you had to shake off this mortal coil in the style of a movie, how would you go? I have an answer.
I am so prepared for this question. Have you been watching The Last of Us?
Yes.
Episode 3, baby, all the way. Holy fucking shit. That was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in TV, cinema, or on stage in my entire life.
It was phenomenal. And at one point, just because I diffuse everything with humor, Amanda's just crying, and for some reason, like, I cry over everything, and like it had almost happened multiple times, and I just never quite got. And it's not to diminish the show, like, it was
just
phenomenal. Just for some reason, I just never, that floodgate never opened, and I feel really bad for this because it's such a beautiful moment too. There was a moment where, like, when Frank was planning... And if you guys haven't seen The Last of Us episode 3...
Spoilers.
Like, normally we don't spoil new stuff.
But we can't not talk about this.
Yes. So there's a scene where, Frank's like, okay, you're gonna put this poison in my wine, and then you're gonna take me up to bed, and we're gonna lay there together and everything. And, Ron Swanson's crying and shit, and... there's a moment I leaned over to Amanda and it's like, that's a terrible idea. She goes, why? It's like, he's gonna shit all over it.
I'm trying to think, because there was, in that same moment, I had a similar reaction during that final dinner and wine scene where I don't remember what my diffusing punchline was, though, but yeah, I had that same kind of moment.
And that's just how I diffuse situations, is I try to make myself or someone around me laugh.
Yep.
Like, after my dad passed away, me and my mom went out to breakfast or something because we were both tired and hungry, didn't want to cook.
Sure.
And at one point, my mom obviously just kind of broke down into tears. And I had cried so much the day before, I couldn't, like, access anything. And I just wanted to try to, like, get her out of that funk by laughing. And I was like, Mom, you got to stop. He's like, if you don't stop crying, everyone's going to think I just broke up with you. And she started laughing.
Okay, that is a movie moment. Like, that is script material right there. That is really good.
Well, I did steal the line from something, but it was used very differently.
Okay, yeah.
But no, if I was thinking about this today, if I had to go out, and it all actually happened because of my friend Josephine, who will be on a future episode. Yeah. And I'll explain how we got to it after I explain my moment. I'd want to go out like the Kurgan and have to battle to the death, and like someone has to get their head chopped off.
You want to go out singing New York, New York?
Yes. The worst rendition of it, too.
Start spreading the news.
I just want to have like a epic fucking sword fight, and that's how I go out. But it doesn't count unless I get beheaded.
Well, with what I am assuming is the amount of sword training you've had, you probably will get beheaded.
Yeah, instantly.
I think safe bet.
No, that came to be because there's a new movie that just came out on Shudder. It's a horror movie that's been getting a lot of praise called Skinamarink.
Okay.
And it's kind of like an art house horror film. Very just meandering, long shots of nothing. It feels like something I would have seen in film school.
Yeah.
Wasn't into it, and like I love experimental film. I love horror. This movie did not need to be an hour and 40 minutes. Could have been 15, 20. And then on top of that, and I have to say, I give the filmmaker a lot of fucking credit, because this is a movie that was made for $15,000 and it's playing in theaters and made like $2 million in its first weekend. Good for fucking
That's awesome. Yeah.
However, so this movie, like I said, it's not even just like shots of like people walking through the house. Like, you never see anyone's face. So a lot of times it's like children's feet walking, or you'll do like an extended close up of a TV or a Lego set. There's a lot of staring at the ceiling. It's just very avant-garde shots. And then I'm sitting there watching, it's like, where the fuck did $15,000 go? I was actually getting pissed off, because the more I looked at it, because the movie doesn't look, movie looks like shit intentionally.
Yeah. Yep.
He made it look like it was shot on Super 16, so it was like really, and he shot it with practically no lights. It's a very high ISO, so it's just really grainy. And then he added more digital grain. From what I read, he shot it in a week, with a crew of 3 people at his mom's house.
Wow.
With no real actors. I think he just borrowed some friends' kids. Where the fuck did 15... Oh, and on top of that, he has a credit like Foley, Foley Sound or whatever. It's at freesound.com. So he got his Foley Sound from Freesound. He says that he got all the cartoons from the archive.org.
Yeah.
So it's like, where the fuck did $15,000 go, man? Like, it legitimately pisses me off a little bit.
Of the 16mm camera and the film stock, and that's it. Processing.
Well, I think he shot it digitally and made it look like film.
Oh, it's all okay, I misunderstood.
I don't know 100%, but like, because if he shot it on film, it's like, okay, that's where $15,000 goes. But I think it was shot digitally. So it's like they're just having fucking filet mignon every day.
They're like,
don't get me wrong, I'm sure
$5,000. Let's do this.
That's the only thing I can think of, is maybe he just, he paid everyone. But that could be. That could be.
That's a pretty good week rate for that level of production.
That being said, like, I gave it a star on $100. I did not like it. I think my exact review was, because it's like, if I wanted to stare at the ceiling with the TV on, I'd go to bed.
Well, and it goes back to that quote that you've referenced before, like, it's, and I'm gonna really poorly paraphrase it, but it's okay to make something that people hate as long as they feel something. As long as you
I'd rather feel something than nothing. Yeah. No, exactly. And like I said, I give him a lot of credit and everything, but it came to be because my friend Josephine really loved it.
Okay.
She's like, I logged on to Letterboxd and this is what I saw, and she just sent me like a screenshot of my 1-star review. And I just said, I tried. On paper, it should be everything that I like, and it just didn't work for me.
Yep.
She's like, I completely understand that, but we are now mortal enemies. I hope you understand.
So this is your and Josephine's last picture show?
Yes. And I said, well, only if we can go out fighting like the Kurgan. And that's what I started thinking about. I was like, man, that would be a pretty fucking badass way to go out. I think I've just been wanting to rewatch Highlander because I just bought it.
Nice.
I've never owned it before, and like, it's funny, when we did our Highlander episode, it's like, okay, I like this movie fine, and then we did it again for Mark's show, and I liked it more that time, and now I'm like, you know what? I think I really like the fucking Highlander.
We made a Highlander fan out of you.
You did. So yeah, that's how I'd want to go. I'd want to go out like the Kurgan, and there can be only one.
And I want to go out like Ron Swanson in the mushroom zombie apocalypse.
Every time I watch that show, I'm just like, oh, this intro is just mushroom Game of Thrones.
Now I have not seen Game of Thrones, so I didn't have that basis to compare it to. But Raina said the exact same thing.
Yeah, if you Google like the intro to Game of Thrones, it's just like cities building up out of nowhere. It's just like the same thing, just made of mushrooms.
Nice.
It's the Super Mario Brothers Game of Thrones intro.
Did you see that SNL sketch? It was like, I would fucking watch that show.
Well, it's funny. There's been so many people online who are like, "Oh, we need this version now." It's like, where were you guys in the '90s, eh? Now you want revisionist Mario? Fuck off.
I want gritty revisionist Mario, not those turds.
Hey. Shut up.
That felt personal.
You're a turd. Oh, so besides that, how have you been?
I'm back in therapy.
Is it helpful?
Actually, my first session was today.
How was it, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind at all. It was good. I think I liked my new therapist, and so the way I've been thinking about it is the last few times I've been in therapy have been more to address something acute that's happening in the moment when, like, I'm spiking high above my baseline, right? Mm-hmm. Well, between the work that I did then and some of just the self-work I've been doing, I've kind of gotten to a place where I'm like, but what if my baseline could be better? You know, like, not addressing something that's happening to me right now, but realizing that, like, the way that I function and the way that I think, like, maybe some of that isn't as healthy as it could be. So that's what I'm starting now.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
As someone who works in the field, I'm happy whenever people can get help.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good.
So I'm excited about that. And I like talking about it and using our platform to just say that it's happening.
Yeah, it's, this is cinema therapy.
Yes.
It's because I always tell people, when they say, "What's your show about?" And the easy answer is movies.
Yeah, right.
Because that is like 85% of what this show is. But then the other 10 to 15% is about friendship and therapy and mental health and finding things that make you feel good.
Destigmatizing, like that's in the concept of the podcast. Our kind of not mission statement, but our the whole idea of not feeling shame for a thing you did or did not do. Like we do it through the lens of film, but it's a good message.
There is no shame on this show. Wear your freak flag proud.
Indeed.
That's what I say. Okay, so as I told you before, I didn't write an intro, so I'm going to take a sip of Gatorade for the working man.
I've got coffee.
And I'm just going to ride the struggle bus through this.
Oh, L'chaim.
All right.
Warning! This movie podcast actually discusses movies. Be aware that it may discuss any of the following elements: endings, surprise twists, unexpected cameos, and all manner of spoilers. If this doesn't appeal to you, why listen to a movie podcast? Without further ado, please enjoy our feature presentation, The Shameless Picture Show.
Hello and welcome to Season 7 of The Shameless Picture Show. I am Michael Viers, and with me, as always, is... I was going to make a joke about dead weight, but that was actually really mean towards you, and you're not dead weight at all. But I'm just going to run with it. My Bernie, my dead weight companion, this is terrible. Introduce yourself.
Nick Richards.
Nick, are you wearing fishnets?
Of course I am.
Okay.
No, they're...
I just kept seeing your knee, and I was like, are you wearing fishnets? That's kind of fun.
I do have the legs to pull them off.
Well, of course you do. So, hello, listeners. If this is your first time listening to our show, you just got an earful about mental health and a bunch of stuff you aren't familiar with. And you got our one of our worst intros to date, because normally I spend time to write a formally well-written intro where I describe the plot of the film, and I talk about its historical context and why it's important. I watch a lot of Turner Classic movies, and it shows in the way that I write, and I didn't do that for the first 2 episodes. So, you're just going to get to listen to us ramble. So... this is Season 7. Me and Nick tried something a little different this year. We decided to come into this show prepared.
Well, that kind of contradicts what you just said about the writing.
We came in prepared in that we planned our entire season ahead of time. We've done 6 seasons of this show with no planning other than we're like, well, what do you want to watch next? Okay. I don't know. What do you want to watch next?
Are you free
no
this
planning.
week?
Yeah. We have planned out our entire recording schedule with what we're discussing, so we know ahead of time. And we are doing a double header this week where we're going to be recording 2 episodes. So if we reference something that, in our next episode or what have you, that's the reason why, because we are
probably
doing these back to back.
be talking about The Last of Us a lot in these 2 episodes.
Yes. So if you haven't caught up to The Last of Us, I recommend you do so because it might get spoiled. You probably already had a spoiler, and if you listen to our preamble. This show is chaos. That's just what this is.
But this year, it's organized chaos.
Yes, that's I like that, organized chaos. It's like there's a podcast I listen to called Screen Drafts, where it's competitive collaboration is what they describe it as, because they have to do film-centric best of lists, but you don't know what everyone else is choosing, and they make it into a game. So it's collaborative competitive collaboration.
Love it.
We are organized chaos. It works. All right. So this week, for the first episode back of season 7, we thought we would go with some truly high art cinema.
Yeah, real classics. Something
like,
highly
on this show,
valued.
We've done some big films. We've done Rocky. We've done The Godfather. We've done Apocalypse Now. So we thought this was the perfect episode to scratch something off both of our shame lists. We are going to discuss Weekend at Bernie's. It just felt like the right episode to come back.
It's starting it off with a bang.
All right. So as I said, normally I try to write a little intro. I did not do so. So instead, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to read the description of Weekend at Bernie's from our good friends over at Fandango.
Hi to all my friends at Fandango.
Anyways, so Weekend at Bernie, the description of Fandango wrote, fun-loving salesman Richard, played by Jonathan Silver, and Larry, played by Andrew McCarthy, are invited by their boss, Bernie, played by Terry Kaiser, to stay the weekend at his posh beach house. I have a speech impediment. Leave me alone. Little do they know that Bernie is the perpetrator of fraud they've uncovered and is arranging to have them killed. When the plan backfires and Bernie is killed instead, the buddies decide not to let the little death spoil their vacation. They pretend Bernie is still alive, leading to hijinks and corpse desecration galore. Bravo, Fandango. That was actually a really nice little write-up. Weekend at Bernie's was directed by Ted Kotcheff, which some of you guys might know for being the director of fucking First Blood.
Yep.
It was written by Robert Kane, based on a book called The Two Deaths of Quincas Huartayel by Jorge Armando. I find that really hard to believe, but who might have discredit Jorge Armando's book?
I saw somebody else describe it as loosely based on, so I have a feeling, having no idea anything about the source material, that it was more like, they were walking around with a dead body, but the tone was very different.
Could be. This movie features cinematography by Francois Protat and music by Andy Summers. This is Weekend at Bernie's.
Don't you see? We just uncovered a $2 million error. We're going to be heroes. We're going up the corporate ladder. It appears as if somebody's trying to defraud the company.
Somebody tried to smoke it past the wrong guy.
Very, very good work. How would you two like to come to my house at the beach?
Love to!
For Larry and Richard,
How are you?
this is a place to die for.
You have to kill them, Vito.
A little rusty, but it'll come back to me.
What, should we just walk in?
But what they don't realize
No, we'll stand out here all weekend. Come on, we're house guests.
is while they're checking in,
Forget the accident with the 2 guys. Take care of Lomax.
Bernie Lomax will be checking out.
Oh, my God.
What kind of a host invites you to his house for the weekend and dies on you?
I don't know.
Lomax told whoever he's talking to not to kill us if he's around, right?
Yeah, but Lomax is dead. He's not around anybody anymore.
I know that. You know that. Nobody else knows that. Huh?
Oh!
Where's Bernie? It looks good enough. Let's go.
Larry, what?
Huh?
Really?
Hi, Bernie! Hey, Bernie, just like last week, huh?
Oh, Bernie, you animal, you are insatiable.
Doesn't anyone realize he's dead?
Hold the boat! Got it? Hold the boat!
Vito, I'm telling you, Lomax is alive. Maybe Paulie is rustier than we thought.
Ooh, Bernie, you're starting to peel. Want to get you out of the sun, huh? Is that the killer? How do I know, Richard? Should I stop and ask you? No, just drive. Serpentine! Did you hear something? What is that? It's just Bernie.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Are we doing it again today?
Oh, absolutely. You know we are.
Great, we'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ladies. We'll see you later. God, is this great or what?
Dude, you know what's surprising me about Weekend at Bernie's? That they made a Weekend at Bernie's 2.
I have to, and pardon the pun, morbidly curious about how far after the original does this take place?
It apparently takes place in the Virgin Islands. So it's just another vacation movie. And I'm going to quote Kevin Smith in this. When Kevin Smith tells a story on I think the first evening with Kevin Smith, where he's telling a story about how he was asked to help write at one point the sequel to Beetlejuice. It was going to be
oh my god.
It was going to be it was going to be, I don't remember what the title of it was. Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian or something like that. And it was going to be
God.
Beetlejuice in Hawaii.
Like Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith says, I feel like we said everything that needs to be said in the first Beetlejuice. Must we go tropical? And that's what I think about with this movie. It's like everything that needed to be said at Weekend at Bernie's was said. Must we go tropical?
I love it. Did you? I'm sure there's a good chance that you did. Did you catch the Rambo reference?
Which one?
In the film where I think there's like some. I think it's when the kid sneaks in with the tap gun. Or maybe not.
Yes.
But he's hiding, and he goes, "Okay, you can get up now, Rambo."
Yes, I did catch that, and I was like, ah!
Yep.
Ah!
I appreciated that.
I like to imagine the screenwriter wrote that, and Ted Kotcheff is like,
motherfucker.
No. Don't want to do that. And they did it anyway. Or maybe it was his joke, and he was like, this is going to be so funny.
You know what you should say right now?
Oh, shit, it would be so funny. I appreciate how that kid just likes to bury people.
Yeah. Yep. And, okay. Are we going to get into this now?
Yeah. Let's get into this. Nick, let's start with you because I guess I'm kind of hosting the show in a way. What'd you think of Weekend at Bernie's? This was on both of our shame lists. I had seen bits and pieces of this movie, I think, growing up, but I don't know if I had seen bits and pieces of this one or the sequel. So it counts as being on my shame list.
I will say that for those of you who are fans of physical comedy, like this film, like it kind of has the feel of like the more like loony I Love Lucy episodes, or
yes, it really does.
That like, or the Honeymooner. Like it's this constant stream of physical comedy that for what it is, it's good. It's like Airplane without the
racism.
Well, there's that.
Well, yeah.
No, I think that there was plenty of racism. Weekend at Bernie's too. Weekend at Bernie's, also not Weekend at Bernie's 2. Bernie Goes Tropical.
Yeah.
Which I have not seen and cannot speak to.
No, but I kind of want to now.
Like you have to know how they even
I need to know, like,
attempted...
like, do they unfreeze him or something?
Right?
Like, how do they stop him from just becoming a zombie?
He's dead.
That's the idea, isn't it? Cheers.
Also, let's keep in mind that this is apparently like one of the hottest weekends of the year, and that body did not like go into rigor mortis or
I wish there was going to be one joke of something like, "Woo, Bernie, you smell different."
Right.
Just something.
Like something. They just totally ignored it, which you'd have to kind of admire how flagrant they were with their, like, just science has no place here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. This is not that kind of movie.
No, yeah. So ultimately, what did you think of it, though?
It was, by definition, a film. I
can't argue that.
I did giggle. Like, I let some of the physical comedy bits were funny.
People get hit. It's funny.
But that's about all that I had. Like, it was so implausible and so ridiculous. None of the romance stuff worked, and I don't just mean like they had no chemistry, which they clearly did not.
Oh,
but
I have stuff to say about that romance too.
Also, some of the like when he brought her back to his parents' house and saw his dad in his underwear, and she stormed. Like, why did she storm? Like, they didn't even have a conversation about it. It's just like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then she's like, oh, it's forgiven. It was actually kind of funny. Like, it was just, there was so little, and not so little. There was a complete lack of authenticity across the board for this film.
Yeah, like the actors I feel like are really trying, and major props to Terry Kaiser, like making a nearly speechless role where he just has to act dead and still manage to be funny. Like that's pretty impressive. I think the only other person I can think who could do that would be like Steve Martin. I feel like you could put Steve Martin and cast him as Bernie, and it would fucking work.
Yeah, yep.
Especially Steve Martin in his prime.
I would watch that. So
not like dad Steve Martin, but like Steve Martin years, like, you know, like in his prime.
I would argue that Only Murders in the Building is his prime.
You know what?
That boy.
Fair. I can't argue that. We just finished that show too.
That Brazos can fucking get it.
Yeah. And to say Brazos isn't sexy. Brazos is sexy. I had very similar feelings though about Weekend at Bernie's. At one point I was thinking, I was like, man, 130 years of cinema history and we get to live during the same time as Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know if we're lucky or not. I don't know. My review of it on Letterboxd was, though, I much prefer the A24 remake Swiss Army Man.
Yep, I saw that. That was good. It is like it set if you can say nothing else about Weekend at Bernie's, like it is a reference point that is universal in our generation in this society. Like
Amanda had never seen Weekend at Bernie's. She
barely
knew what it was. Barely knows what it was about, but knew that like the term like Weekend at Bernie's, or like we have to Weekend at Bernie's this or something like that.
Right.
And it's impressive because it's not really a film that I feel like is, you know, talked about a lot. It's not in the cultural oeuvre the way that something like The Breakfast Club is, but people know what that means.
It's like the concept was so iconic that it transcended the film itself.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I was talking to my buddy Mac, who's also been on this show, who's an actor, and he works. He's on the board for the Waukesha Civic Theater. They do like stage shows there. I said, I really think a Weekend at Bernie's stage show could fucking kill.
Yeah. It is with as good as how iconic the concept is and how bad the execution was. Like, there is some prime reboot material. Like, you could do something really interesting with it.
Yeah, like I am honestly surprised that this movie has not been remade, because I could see this movie getting like, I could have seen this movie being remade like 10 years ago with like when Seth Rogen was like truly like at his height of stoner movies. Like I'm surprised this hadn't been remade at that time.
Yeah.
Because like this I don't know. I feel like you get a young cast there. You get like fucking Zac Efron and someone else in there, and get someone like you either get an aging actor who hasn't been doing as much lately,
Steve
like a Steve Martin, or get someone who's really out of type, like a Jason Momoa, and make him Bernie.
Oh my God.
Actually, that could be really funny. You get like you get two of the Stranger Things kids having to drag Jason Momoa around. That could be good.
I'd watch it.
I would. They could remake Weekend at Bernie's right now and be like, "Fuck, I hated that movie." Or "Hate's a strong word. I didn't like that movie, but I'd watch it."
Yep. I will say that this movie did live up to the promise of the premise.
Yes.
It was all you got was a movie about two people moving a dead body around and trying to convince everybody. Very, like, they didn't even have to try. Everybody bought it so quickly, and
they didn't question it, which is also kind of sad because it just shows like they're all using Bernie so much that they don't even know Bernie.
Well,
they're to the point where they don't even realize that he's not acting right. All these people are coming to his party. It actually has a lot to say about the way that these people view Bernie.
This is, like, if there is any depth to this film, and I'm not arguing that there is, but but the debate I was having in my head is there, like, a more cerebral critique on, like, 80s and 90s capitalism and this kind of, like, New York big business lifestyle, the yuppie, movement. I think, though, it just used it and maybe accidentally stumbled upon some coherent threads, I don't think it was intentionally baked in there.
Well, yeah, especially
and I could be wrong.
And at that time, at least in the way that cinema presents that time period, I wasn't around in that time, so I don't know what it was really like. But like yuppie culture is depicted as being the American dream in a lot of these movies.
In
like that was John Hughes' bread and butter. He
Right.
thought that was the best thing you could fucking do is become a well-paid yuppie. It wasn't until like looking back on it was something like American Psycho where they're skewering that culture, or even more recently Wolf of Wall Street, they're skewering that lifestyle. Where at the time, like I truly believed that these characters wanted Bernie's life and are not reviewing Bernie as a fucking cautionary tale like they should have been.
Right. They wanted it, and the fact that there weren't any consequences around that is what tells me that there wasn't a deeper meaning to this, and that it wasn't some like heady critique, that it was just like, hey, what if some Wall Street bros were like had to carry their boss around? That would be funny. Ha 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 ha.
I'm honestly surprised there's enough restraint to not, because like let's be real, another running gag in the 80s was let's make fun of the fat guy.
Right. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised they had enough restraint to not make Bernie a fat guy.
Yeah.
Just because, look at how funny would that be? I guarantee it was on their whiteboard at one point. I'm willing to put money on it.
Yeah. That would have been hard for them to carry him around, though. So it was.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. No, not my favorite movie. It wasn't without its 80s.
Yeah, it wasn't without its charms. This Andrew McCarthy is simultaneous. I love whenever he pops up in things, even though he often seems to annoy the shit out of me. But in just a charming enough way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just annoying enough that I like him.
What kind of a host invites you to his house for the weekend and dies on you? Why would he do this, huh? I mean, he had everything. A house, cars, women. This is tragic. I don't understand why he couldn't wait until Monday to kill himself.
And, like, I feel like anytime... Because, like, there's that trope in comedies of, the snarky best friend. And, like, his voice is what I picture
right. Yeah,
when I think of that.
The iconic.
It's him or like Randall from Clerks, like the snarky best friend. But like he had some of my favorite moments in this, but the chemistry that him and Jonathan Silverman had, I thought was great. Like I love that scene really early on when they're walking through the park and like that guy tries to mug them and they both just like, it's too hot for this, and they just keep walking and the guy's like, yeah.
And like I was bracing, I was like starting to build my thoughts in that moment, and I'm like, there is this tone that they're setting about like how nobody's really taking anybody else seriously, and they're these adversarial relationships, and how is that going to be reflected? But none of it ever paid off, so I floundered on it.
And like I said, the movie's not without its charms. Like it's, I really like Terry Kaiser as Bernie, but probably part of that is also because I know him from he's in one of the Friday the 13th sequels, so I have just kind of a connection to him from that alone. But like there's no real payoffs. So like, I thought it was a great little twist, even though it's kind of obvious, but it works. Where like, oh, Bernie's the one embezzling the money,
right.
But you almost start questioning it because of how nice he's being to them. That doesn't really have a payoff. Bernie's dead, sure, but like, is that really a payoff?
Right. No, it was a
setup. It was a setup
without a payoff. Yeah.
You had the mafioso guys who put a hit out on Bernie, that also didn't really have a payoff, though I felt really bad for that hitman. He's just convinced that he just lost his mojo.
Having the worst weekend.
Yeah. Like he became my favorite character just because he was so committed to this job.
Right, yeah.
And it should have been, and it was an easy job. He accomplished it very effectively.
Times.
Yes. But that didn't really, like the whole thing with like the mafioso's like girlfriend and Bernie didn't really have a payoff, and I really fucking hated the relationship in this movie. One, it wasn't needed, and two, I just really wanted him to stop lying to her. Like, this all could have been settled if they would have just spoken with each other.
Well, it's just like the problem with the mafia plot line. It was a reason to keep the more conservative friend on board, because that would he would be like, we shouldn't be doing this. We should call the cops. Oh, my girlfriend's here, so then we have to pretend that he's like. It just, there was no logic to it at all. No emotional logic. Like they were like, yeah, because of this he did this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but why do they feel that? Like there was no reason for him to be lying. There was no reason for him to be like using the dead body as a way to keep it going. The structure of the plot was off.
And honestly, like I'm not one to sit down and really hyperanalyze a movie even though that's what we do. Like, I don't sit down and hyperanalyze a movie in terms of what's its theme. What is this movie trying to say? Because I'm also a firm believer that not every movie necessarily needs that. Or I'm a believer that I feel like every writer, or most writers, even if they don't think they're thinking about theme, they have something that they're working through and they just might not realize it.
Yeah.
I cannot figure out what the fucking point of this movie is. Other than, getting some yucks here and there, but like, what is this movie trying to say?
Well, and I've been contrasting this film to Airplane in my head, where Airplane arguably has that same plot issue where like it's not saying anything, all it is a bunch of setups, but in Airplane every setup has a payoff.
Yeah, and while I didn't love Airplane, I think it's a significantly better made movie than Weekend at Bernie's.
I think like
it's a stronger writing in
Airplane, even though it's Airplane is doing what it is trying to do well, even if it's not what any given audience member wants to see. Weekend at Bernie's has a similar, I'm okay with a film just trying to be an hour and a half of jokes, and in this case, more physical comedy versus satire in Airplane. But it is not doing there's still the structure of it is just not there to support the fact that it's an hour and a half of physical comedy.
Yeah. Like, it's because, like, I'm a believer in that physical comedy works best when there's a reason for it.
Sure, yeah.
And I just feel like they had a great idea in that, okay, what if these two guys have a dead body that they can't let anyone know is a dead body, and they have to pretend it's still alive? That's a great idea.
Yeah, clearly. Like, I think that what this film, the reason why it had any traction at all, and the reason why people know about it today, is because the concept is so good.
But what I think they struggled with is
everything else.
I'm this is just inference. I don't know anything about what went in. Like, I don't know what Robert McClain did to fucking write this film. But to me, it feels like they then reverse engineered a plot to base around it.
Yeah.
In a way that feels very inorganic, instead of being, and like, I feel like it's hard for me to put into words like exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
with this. But it just really feels like instead of coming up with an idea that really works for why they could have this dead body here, they just started throwing darts at the board for different ideas. And like, there's so many things that they're trying to incorporate, and nothing really feels well thought out because of that. Like you said, the relationship thing, like, when you describe it as being like, that's the reason that the more conservative of the two characters decides to go along with this, that makes sense. Then they should have reverse engineered and made this relationship work.
Right.
Or like, they have to have the mobster guys because there needs to be a reason why Bernie dies, though I think, and like,
and
that doesn't have a payoff.
Right. It's just continual reasons to have a physical gag, and that's everything else in the movie is just a setup for another physical gag or continuing the physical gag, and then credits. Like, that is it. That is all you get in this film.
Yeah, I feel like setup was their least thought out aspect of this film, with even more so than payoffs, because in their mind the payoff is look, he's a dead guy that's not really dead. It doesn't work as a payoff, but I feel like that's what they thought was going to be the payoff, when they're not really thinking about setups and payoffs in terms of character motivations. Because like, you can have all this stuff and still have it be a dumb comedy, and I don't mean dumb as in like not good, just a mindless comedy.
I would point to like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is very physical comedy based, and not a whole lot, like, other than Christmas feel goods and physical comedy yucks. Like, that's all that film really has to offer. But
there's not even much of a plot in that movie.
It's just family comes in for Christmas, and then it's a fraught physical comedy Christmas. Like, that's all it is. But that does it really well. That does what it is trying to do very well.
What I think something like Christmas Vacation is, I feel like they came up with their idea of that, okay, what's some crazy things that can happen around Christmas, and they built it from there, and then they built the physical comedy in these moments. Whereas I just feel like Weekend at Bernie's is like, okay, we have our physical comedy, let's build everything else off of that, and it just doesn't. It feels like a first pass.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like sitting here as a writer, I'm thinking, okay, I feel like I can make this relationship work. I feel like I can make this mobster storyline work if there's some payoffs to it. Like, I'm thinking, it's like, I feel like with some rewrites, this script could work better.
Yeah. And usually with a film, I have the opposite reaction of, I can tell when a film stinks of overly being edited, or, you know, producers saying you got to have this in order for us to be able to sell it. And this is one of the few where I feel like the opposite is true.
I almost feel like, and once again, I don't know what Robert Klein's writing style was. It almost feels like they didn't have an outline, and so there's just things that they forgot about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, we never paid that off. Whatever.
Or they were writing as they were going. Okay, let's throw Bernie off of the railing. Okay, but how did we get here? Oh, we'll have the girlfriend say something. You know, we'll have the hitman come back.
Yeah. I have to admit, the hitman constantly coming back and trying to recomplete this job, and then wheeling him out in the end, and he's in the stretcher. He's not dead, I tell you. All of that was great.
And then he just, like, when at the end of the film, when the stretcher rolls down the ramp and he plops back down onto the beach, and it's like, oh, Bernie's back, and they all run, and then, like, that's it.
Oh my god. And then, like, I don't normally think about this type of thing during comedies, but since I wasn't enjoying this movie, I was overthinking it. It's like, there was no consequences at the end of this movie.
The cops didn't question them. They weren't like there was.
They should have gotten into some trouble. They were desecrating a dead body.
How do you not end the film that way? It's like there was an alternate ending, an original ending. They lopped off the last 20 minutes and instead just did another physical comedy bit with them flopping into the sand.
Like, even the fucking Burbs, which is one of my favorite physical comedies.
Great film.
Has that big scene at the end where they're all questioning Tom Hanks and being like, "Why were you going to their basement?" I don't know. I thought they were killed. Like, you can have your lead characters get into trouble and still be likable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, I just feel like they got off scot-free. Granted, they didn't necessarily do anything, but they did not do anything.
Yeah, they should certainly be questioned, if nothing else.
And then, like I said, it was the relationship between Jonathan Silverman and, what is her name? Catherine Mary Stewart. It was just bugging the shit out of me because, like, everything he was telling her was a lie. And it's like, it's one thing at the beginning. He got caught that, you know, which that whole bit was funny where he was like, oh, he's a war veteran. You know, like, his excuses for his dad walking were, it was actually pretty funny. And,
Richard. Richard. Richard, there's a man in his underwear in your kitchen.
Shh. No. He's with me. He's my butler. But,
you have a butler?
Yeah. Shh. Don't get him started. He'll go away if you just be quiet. But, just coming out here.
Oh. Sorry, didn't realize you had company. Good evening, young lady.
That's all right, Monroe. Yes, just, will you please just go lay out my navy blue suit for the morning, please?
How about if I lay you out?
Very well.
Look, that all killed me.
Yeah.
And then he got in trouble for lying to her. Fair. And then what does he do? He continues to keep lying to her, and then they end up getting together in the end.
Right, like, without.
But even though she's supposed to be going back to the Netherlands or something, I don't know.
It was all over the place. So I think it's fair to say that this was Shameless approved. That we both loved it. No, this is one that fell flat for both of us, I think.
Normally in the show we do something called the Thrill House moment, where we talk about a moment in the movie that latched us. And I don't think we necessarily have a Thrill House moment because I don't think either of us was really latched into this movie. So let's change that a little bit. Do you have a Thrill House moment in that there was a scene that you really liked or something that you did like from the movie? I'm going to go with an answer that is in the spirit of what the film is and what it was trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. I thought, and it's such lowbrow, like, I'm embarrassed to admit that I enjoyed it, but when they were pulling Bernie behind the speedboat and he was just kind of skimming across the water, the way that the like mannequin body that they had was tumbling so fatally, I laughed.
I laughed during that scene too. There was a bit I liked, this reoccurring joke of this guy trying to do a business transaction with Bernie throughout the movie. I just, for some reason, that bit just fucking killed me because, like, Terry Kaiser do the littlest things. He would just do, and just turn his head a little bit, and the guy's like, fine, I'll go higher. And it's just, I don't know, I thought that was
funny. And I think it speaks to what you were saying in the beginning, and I agree of, like, his performance held, of being a dead body, like, if that performance was not, I wouldn't say good, like, that's not the right word, but that could have been really wrong, and it does hold it all together. Like, that,
yeah,
his reactions with the head flops and things, that is what kind of holds the bits together.
I agree.
So points for that.
And one thing I was thinking about just now is, because I was thinking, it's like, I actually even though I'm very critical on it because there's no payoffs or anything, I liked the setup for this movie. I liked these two yuppies who found that this money was being skimmed from the company, and they bring it to their boss, and it turns out he's actually been the one skimming the money. And I actually weirdly liked that setup.
It was
I
like
wanted
plot
to
heavy in the first 20 minutes, and then nothing.
And then I was like, I wanted to see where that movie
yeah.
was going to go. Because the movie that Weekend at Bernie becomes is not that movie that they were setting up from the beginning. And then it's almost I feel like this movie should have had a completely different beginning. Like, it could have honestly just been like, if you needed they should have been going to visit their uncle, and they find that he's dead, but like they're
but he needs to be alive for the next couple days.
Yeah, like, the only way he's gonna get this, big inheritance is if they think he's still alive or something. Well, we got to make sure Uncle Bernie stays alive for the weekend, right. And there's another way they could have set it up, but instead they had this plot-heavy movie that was kind of an interesting movie, and then it just became this, like.
Which again has, but we've talked about it already on the episode. Like, the concept is there. You could do something really good with the carrying the dead body around thing.
Case in point, it's not the same plot at all, but it's a concept of that you can take a simple concept and run with it and make something that works really well. The Money Pit. We actually watched it a couple of days after Weekend at Bernie's, because I wanted a comedy that I knew was going to hold up better than Weekend at Bernie's. And Money Pit still is hysterical. And because, once again, they're not overthinking, they're not building a plot around gags.
Right.
They're finding gags within the plot.
Well, and go back to Swiss Army Man. Like, they took the walking around with a dead body thing and made it poignant and beautiful and thought-provoking. And
a farting corpse made me cry.
Exactly. Like, they took that ridiculous concept and they're like, all right, challenge accepted. Here's a great movie.
And now those two are fucking nominated for best film and best director this year.
Well
for
deserved.
The Daniels. Good for Daniels.
Everyone named Daniel. Congratulations.
Yeah, every Daniel in the world. If we have one Daniel listening, let me know and I'll send you something. My middle school
friend Dan Schwartz, that one's for you.
May the Schwartz be with you, Dan. I'm sure he heard that a lot.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure he's a big listener.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I don't know if I have much else to say about.
Yeah, I kind of suspected that this would be a shorter episode, but But yeah, there it is. That's
So
that's Weekend
first
at
episode
Bernie's.
back of the podcast, we tackled Weekend at Bernie's. Maybe Nick and I will do a Patreon episode and we'll tackle Weekend at Bernie's too. We'll see. Who knows? As I said, if this is your first time listening to the show, thank you very much for tuning in. We are on the Cinepunks Network. I forgot to mention that sooner. And peep out our Patreon. Patreon.com/shamelesspictureshow. Me and Amanda, we've been on a slight hiatus because the show was on hiatus, but we are currently doing a series called Cage is the Rage, where me and Amanda are working through every single Nicolas Cage movie in chronological order.
I cannot wait till you get to National Treasure 2.
It's gonna be a while because we do 1 to 2 movies a month, and then on top of that, on the show we're ranking them in terms of Cage performance.
Cage ability.
Yes. Like
Cageitude.
and that, so I think the upcoming episodes are going to be on, we'll have to cut out some of this preamble as I gotta pull up Nicolas Cage because I don't remember what we left off on because like we recorded it and I hadn't posted it yet. Okay, so thus far episode 1 we did Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Valley Girl. Objectively, Fast Times at Ridgemont High is the lowest film on the Nicolas Cage score because he's only in there for 3 seconds and has no lines. But he is in it. We did Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Valley Girl. After that, so I guess that's the next episode. It's Rumblefish and Racing with the Moon. And then the one we're going to be doing very shortly is The Cotton Club and Birdie.
Nice.
So
I did
Cage
watch
is the Rage.
The Family Man recently, and
We watched that too.
Pretty solid.
Christmas.
Like
yeah.
And Tia Leone dancing in the shower still does it for me.
No, that movie actually was surprisingly pretty fucking good. Like for what it was in the time period, it's like, hey,
right, yeah,
I like this. I don't hate this.
Yep.
This isn't Weekend at Bernie's. I think Nicolas Cage could do
a Bernie.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
And he would still find a way to overact.
Oh, he would be the strongest overacting dead body.
This needs to happen.
I can see those like head flops. I can see Nicolas Cage doing some of those dramatic head flops.
Oh my god, it would be great. So Nick, was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap this episode of the Shameless Picture Show up?
I will add as my capstone comment that though I was hard on Weekend at Bernie's, I am glad I saw it.
Yeah.
And it is, if you know what you're getting into, it can be a fun like goofball watch. It can be, fun with your friends to sit around and
I have to say, like, I will say one of my last things to say too is that I was expecting way more from this movie, only because I had a friend. He fucking loved this movie. He was obsessed with this movie, and it wasn't like when we were kids or whatever, because I didn't know him until I was an adult. Just as an adult, this was one of his all-time fucking favorite movies.
Wow.
And I can say this now because we're no longer friends. It just turns out he has no taste.
Oh god, I just popped my headphones off.
I can unequivocally say he just has no taste.
That was like equally harsh and accurate.
He doesn't listen to this show. We don't talk anymore. I blocked him for being a transphobic, racist asshole.
Oh, then he deserves to. Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's sucks, Pete.
Pete.
Yeah, I called him out.
There's our next merch, our T-shirt.
Weekend at Bernie sucks, Pete. Oh my god.
We do need T-shirts.
We do.
Maybe that'll be our season 7 surprise, or maybe not. Oh no.
Who knows?
I hope I haven't.
Oh no! Now I want a T-shirt of me and you. Like, but it has to be like really poorly done, or like we just pasted our face over the two guys from Weekend at Bernie's carrying somebody.
Pete.
I could make that happen, though. I think I'd have to probably pay him.
Right? We'd have to get likeness rights. That could be.
Or we could do Pete from like the fucking like Goofy cartoons.
Nice. Or Pete and Pete. Or Pete or Pete.
Yeah. I fucking love the Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Right?
That's the best Pete I know.
I can make my tattoo dance.
Love it. All right, Nick.
Well,
It's been real.
I hope you have a better weekend than Bernie did.
Yeah. All right, Nick. I'll see you next time.
Yes,
for
Shame Time, Shame Station,
Shameless Picture Show. Shame Time, Shame Station, Shameless Picture Show. It's not easy to say.
Smooth as silk. I'm really glad I made the executive decision to change our sign off to that horrible tangled mess.
Good night, everyone.
The Shameless Picture Show is recorded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin and Easton, Maryland, and is hosted and produced by Nick Richards and Michael Viers. Today's episode was edited by Michael Viers. Our opening theme music was written especially for us by The Directionals, with narration by Zach McClain. The end credit music you're enjoying at the moment was generously provided by my friends in the band 10 Speed. The Shameless graphic design is masterfully done by Amanda Viers. An extra special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and to our generous sponsors. We are on Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Google Play, and Libsyn. You can find links for all these amazing people in the description below.